Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about a few ways of how you can actually read more. So I feel like I am an expert on this because I read all the time. It's one of my favorite pastimes, and I do it more to learn and I just enjoy it so much. So anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I recommend is you schedule it in, because not a lot of people don't like reading, or people just want to start reading. The best way probably is to schedule it in. If you are like a very busy person and you have a lot of things going on, get like 10 minutes in your day just to start reading, and you'll find that over time you'll probably want to read more than just 10 minutes. The second thing I highly recommend is to carry a book wherever you go. I mean, go when you go to the doctor, when you go to a Starbucks, when you go to church, and anywhere, wherever you're at, wherever you're going, take a book with you, because there are moments in time of when you're there that you can probably read. Like when you're waiting for something, pretty much it's like that waiting period of waiting for something to happen, you can read. So if you're gonna go hang out with a friend, you have a book with you, and while you're waiting for them to get there, you can read, and you can like tick it off your list. Number 3, and this one I recommend so much, because definitely, is to find a book you love. Obviously, I think you probably should start with fiction. If you really want to read more, start with fiction, because it has the ability to hold you more. Like, you want to keep going on with the story. Non-fiction, unless you really want to learn something, I recommend it. But fiction is where you can find a book that you love, that you just want to keep reading and you want to get to the end. So find a book that you love. There's so many books out there, guys. There has to be one that you like, just one. So not even like love. I have so many. Number 4, if you cannot find a book that you love, try starting with movies that were books, like Hunger Games, Harry Potter, Ender's Game. There's so many. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. There's so many books. A lot of movies start with books, because those are the creative people. If you can't find a book that you love, start with a book that was turned into a movie, and you might find that the book is so much better. Usually it is, like, so much better. Usually it is. Number 5, try getting a friend to read with you, because then you can at least talk about the book. Because if you usually like a bonding thing, we like relationships, we like talking to people. If you're reading a book that someone else is reading and you can talk to them about the book, then you're kind of both motivated to read the book more and more. Like right now, my aunt is starting to read the Percy Jackson series, and my mom is finishing the series, so they're able to talk about it, and it's a conversation starter. It's also something you can talk about, and you dive into the characters. I mean, it's actually very fun to talk about books. It's like talking about movies. It's pretty much the same thing, though a bit more, honestly, a bit better, in my opinion. But yes, find someone who can be like your reading buddy and read the same book together. Or kind of start a mini book club. I do this one all the time because I love reading, and there's no reason why I should read a book that I do not like. So I highly recommend, if you do not like the book you're reading, that's it. You don't have to finish reading it. Don't feel guilty. I do feel guilty sometimes, because it's probably like a very famous book that I should finish reading and that everyone loves, but I don't care. Toss the book. If you don't like it, that's fine. You're not gonna like everything that everyone else loves, or sometimes, what was the book? 1984. I did not finish reading it because I did not like it. I wasn't bored, I just didn't like how it was going, and maybe I'll read it again later, I don't know, but I just dropped it. I didn't care. I didn't want to finish reading it, and that's what I did. So I highly recommend that you just leave it and pick up another book. this is why we go to libraries, because libraries, you could just return the book and you didn't waste any money. Figure out why you do not enjoy reading. There is usually something holding you back, like if your arms get tired while reading because you're holding it up. Maybe you need to use an ebook instead, though I always prefer book. Maybe there's too much noise, so you need to wear headphones. Maybe you hate the book, so you need to choose another one. Figure out why you're not reading or why you don't want to read and fix it. Just fix it. You can figure out why, and then you'll read more. You don't actually have to be reading. You could listen to audiobooks, which are just as awesome. Even sometimes they're even greater. There's one book that I loved, but I didn't read it. I listened to it, and it was The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. So good. The audiobook is such an amazing read, or whatever, listen. It was so good, and I especially love the one because it had different voices for the different characters, and it was just amazing, all around amazing. So if you want, you don't have to read. You could just listen to audiobooks, and that is such a great way. Like if you're gonna go for a walk, or if you're gonna go grocery shopping, I don't know, you can listen to audiobooks, and they are awesome. Rearrange the way you relax. So a lot of us, me included, love watching movies, love watching TV, love getting on social media and all that stuff. If you rearrange it a little bit, your time, you can find room for reading. If you take 10 minutes before you start watching your TV show, you'll read. You have a little space of time to read, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and sometimes before you know it, you're just reading and not watching TV. That happens to me all the time. Rearrange how you relax, because reading is very relaxing. Especially, I don't always, but I do read before I go to sleep because it is very relaxing and you're not on your phone. I've been getting into being on my phone before going to sleep, and it's not good. I should be reading, because reading helps your eyes, it doesn't have the lights, so you're able to go to sleep and calm down and relax, which is what you need when you're gonna go to sleep. So I highly recommend reading before you go to sleep, and it's okay if you fall asleep in the middle of the book. It's fine. You just wake up in the morning and you keep reading. Okay, another big thing. Why do you want to read? Why? A lot of people say you should read. Why should you read? My reason for reading was because I love it. I love reading and I love learning, and I just want to keep doing more of that. The more I read, the more I learn. I just want to keep reading and reading and reading. Even if it's fiction, I still believe that I'm learning, and a writer, she learns by reading a lot. So figure out why you want to read. Is it because there's a certain topic you want to learn more about, or do you want to grow your vocabulary? Do you want to, just dive deep into certain stories, characters, psychology, bunch of stuff? Figure out why you want to read, and that will help you, read more. If you figure out why you want to do something, then you'll probably do it. My own thought of all this is, once you find the right book, you are going to want to read more and just keep going and reading and reading and reading and reading. That's why I'm so in love with sci-fi and fantasy, because it delves so deep into their depending on the book, they delve deep into their characters, the story, the plot. It's just usually all around amazing. Now it's getting slowly harder to find really good books because a lot of them are getting very political, and that annoys me. I don't care about politics in books. I don't care. I care about the politics in the book, how things are working out and all that, but not to make a point with the book. It bugs me. It really does. So anywho, I hope these tips help you. Tell me what helps you to read or what you wanted to read. If you want a list of books to read, all my stuff is on my other channel, About the Story. and I put up book reviews there, and I put up book lists and a bunch, just everything about books I put on there. So if you want to go check that out, go right over there. I'll put the link down below. And thank you for watching this. Please like it, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.